The early signs of COPD often come on gradually, which can make them easy to overlook. One of the first signs many people experience is a chronic cough. This isn't just a seasonal cold or something you'd brush off. It's a persistent, almost daily cough that doesn't seem to go away and often produces mucus. Along with the cough, there's often shortness of breath. At first, you might notice it only when you're doing something active, like climbing stairs or exercising, but as the condition progresses, it can happen even with everyday activities. Frequent respiratory infections are another early sign. You might find yourself getting bronchitis, colds, or other respiratory illnesses more often and taking longer to recover. Finally, fatigue is a common symptom because the reduced oxygen levels in your blood make it harder for your body to stay energized. As COPD progresses, the symptoms become more severe and impact daily life even more. One of the advanced symptoms is wheezing, a whistling sound when you breathe, which can be especially noticeable during physical activity. This wheezing happens because the airways are narrowed and inflamed, making it harder for air to pass through. Many people with advanced COPD also experience chest tightness. It's often described as a heavy feeling in the chest, like there's pressure, making it hard to take a full breath. And finally, shortness of breath increases even further. Where you might have felt breathless only after physical activity before, now you might feel breathless even when you're sitting or resting. Daily activities like dressing, showering, or even talking can become challenging. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, especially the persistent cough or shortness of breath, it's essential to see a doctor. Diagnosing COPD typically involves a few tests. The most common is called spirometry, which is a breathing test that measures how much air you can inhale and exhale, and how quickly you can do it. Spirometry helps determine whether there's an obstruction in your airways, which is a key sign of COPD. In addition to spirometry, your doctor may order imaging tests like an X-ray or a CT scan. These scans allow doctors to see if there's any visible lung damage and help confirm the diagnosis. They also provide a clearer picture of how advanced the condition might be, guiding doctors on the best treatment approach. To sum it up, COPD symptoms can start with a persistent cough, shortness of breath, frequent infections, and fatigue, and progress to wheezing, chest tightness, and significant breathlessness. If you notice these signs, don't ignore them. Early diagnosis can help you manage the condition more effectively and maintain a better quality of life. Next, we will be exploring the stages of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, and why catching it early can make a real difference. COPD is a progressive disease, which means it gets worse over time. Understanding the stages of COPD can help you recognize symptoms early and take steps to slow the. Let's start with the mild stage. At this point, many people don't even realize they have COPD. The symptoms can be so subtle that they're easy to ignore. You might have a persistent cough or notice a bit of shortness of breath when you're physically active, like when climbing stairs or going for a brisk walk. It's common for people to chalk it up to getting older or being out of shape, but this early stage is actually when lifestyle changes and treatments can be most effective. As COPD progresses to the moderate stage, symptoms become more noticeable and harder to ignore. Shortness of breath becomes more frequent, and daily activities like cleaning the house or walking longer distances start to feel challenging. The cough becomes more persistent, and you may start to notice mucus production along with it. This is often when people finally seek medical advice, as the symptoms begin to interfere with daily life. At this stage, managing COPD is still very possible, and treatments can help improve quality of life and slow further progression. In the severe stage, COPD has a major impact on breathing. Shortness of breath is now a constant companion, affecting daily routines. Activities that were once simple, like showering or getting dressed, can leave you feeling breathless and fatigued. Wheezing and chest tightness become more common, and even a small amount of physical exertion can be exhausting. At this point, treatments are focused on managing symptoms, preventing flare-ups, and preserving as much lung function as possible. The very severe stage is the most advanced level of COPD. Breathing is difficult even when you're resting, and every activity requires effort. Oxygen levels in the blood may drop to the point where oxygen therapy becomes necessary. This stage requires significant lifestyle adjustments and often specialized medical care to manage day-to-day activities. The progression from mild to very severe COPD highlights why early detection is so important. When caught in the mild or moderate stages, there are far more options for slowing the disease and managing symptoms effectively. Early detection allows for lifestyle changes, like quitting smoking and adding regular exercise to help preserve lung function. Plus, medications and other treatments are often more effective in the early stages, helping to keep symptoms under control. So if you or someone you know is experiencing symptoms like a persistent cough or shortness of breath, don't ignore them. It could be an early warning sign of COPD, and catching it early can make a huge difference. By recognizing the stages of COPD and understanding the importance of early detection, we can take control of our lung health and live life with more ease. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more health tips. And if you have any questions or want to share your own tips for managing COPD, drop a comment below. I'll see you in the next video.